Fewer than 300 people have ever sailed solo around the world, which is actually fewer than the number of humans who have traveled to space. But here's what most people do not realize. You do not need $1 million yacht to join them. These are 5 proven boats that can take you around the world alone, all with used prices ranging from $20,000 to $150,000. Each one has crossed the globe multiple times. They were sailed by people who bet their lives on these designs, and they won. The best solo boats share a few common traits: a cutter rig for flexible sail handling, heavy displacement for stability, and a full or modified fin keel with a protected rudder. Naval architects point to the 35 to 45-foot range as the sweet spot, since anything smaller limits your cargo capacity, while anything larger makes sails too difficult to manage alone. These features let a boat track straight for hours while you sleep, cook, or make repairs. That self-sufficiency is everything when you are the only person aboard. At number 5, the Westsail 32 earned its nickname as the boat that launched 1,000 dreams. Time magazine ran a 4-page spread on the cruising life in June 1973, featuring this exact design, and the phrase "Westsail the world" became part of sailing vocabulary almost overnight. The design descends directly from Norwegian rescue and pilot boats, vessels built to survive North Sea conditions while saving lives. Bill Crealock adapted those classic lines into fiberglass, and between 1971 and 1981, Westsail Corporation built approximately 830 hulls, including about 400 sold as kits for owners who wanted to build their own. Measuring 32 feet on the hull but stretching to 40 feet with its bowsprit, this boat displaces 19,500 pounds, with hull thickness reaching over an inch of solid fiberglass. The full keel provides tracking stability that solo sailors depend on, and the cutter rig allows twin pulled-out jibs for hands-off downwind passages. Used prices today range from $20,000 to $80,000, and that widespread reflects the variation between professionally finished boats and amateur kit builds. Critics call it the wet snail 32 because speed is not its strength, but Jerome Rand did not care about that when he completed his non-stop solo circumnavigation in 271 days aboard the Westsail 32, named Mighty Sparrow in 2017 and 2018. At number 4, the Cabo Rico 38. Designer Crealock put it plainly. The Cabo Rico 38 hull shape is the one in which everything came together best. Built in Costa Rica from 1977 to 2005, about 200 of these hulls exist today. The boat measures 41 feet, including the bowsprit. It carries an 11-foot 6-inch beam and displaces 21,500 pounds. That full keel with cutaway forefoot protects the propeller and produces a motion longtime owners describe as one that never pounds. Sailing journalist John Kretschmer placed the Cabo Rico 38 alongside what he called legendary long-keeled cruisers, like the Bermuda 40, the Bristol 40, and the Shannon 38. Used prices for models from the late 1970s through the 1990s range from $30,000 to $100,000. Cabo Rico ceased operations around 2010, so parts and support can be harder to find than with other manufacturers. At number 3, the Contessa 32. Its reputation as a legendary heavy weather survivor comes from one very specific day. David Sadler designed this boat with Jeremy Rogers in 1970, and over 750 hulls have been built since then, making it the most successful one-design cruiser racer ever produced. The boat measures just under 32 feet, displaces 9,500 pounds, and carries an exceptional 47% ballast ratio that makes it stiffer than almost anything else in its class. That reputation was forged during the catastrophic 1979 Fastnet race, when 15 sailors died and 24 boats were abandoned in 55 to 65 knot winds. Only one boat in the smallest class completed the race through those conditions. It was a Contessa 32 named Ascent, sailed by Alan Kerr. Analysis shows the boat's limit of positive stability sits near 130 degrees, meaning it can be knocked almost completely flat and will still right itself. Declan McKell proved what the boat could do on longer voyages, completing a 50,000-mile solo circumnavigation from 1977 to 1983 aboard his Contessa 32 named Sean Was. Used prices range from $30,000 to $80,000. Sailors affectionately call it a submarine with sails because its 28-inch freeboard ships water regularly. But when conditions turn serious, that is exactly the boat you want beneath you. At number 2 is the Pacific Seacraft 34. Cruising World named it one of the top 7 cruising designs under $100,000. Designer Bill Kreolak built about 8,000 boats during his career, and his philosophy centered on a simple observation. The stern becomes the bow in following seas. That is why all his offshore designs feature the distinctive canoe stern that cuts through waves instead of getting pushed around by them. Measuring 34 feet with a 10-foot beam, it displaces 13,500 pounds and hits the sweet spot between heavy traditional designs and lighter modern boats, stable enough for ocean passages while remaining responsive enough for solo handling. In production since 1984, with limited builds continuing today, the molded-in bulwark provides security when working on side decks by yourself, and documented owners report the boat heaves to reliably on a reefed mainsail alone. Used prices today average around $99,500, with a range stretching from $59,000 to $160,000 for well-equipped examples. And at number 1, the Valiant 40 stands as the benchmark offshore cruiser. The story behind it deserves attention. This design launched Robert Peary's career as a naval architect. It was built from 1973 to 1992, with approximately 300 hulls in existence. The American Sailboat Hall of Fame inducted the Valiant 40 in 1997, and Peary himself calls it his best offshore cruiser design. It measures just under 40 feet with a 12-foot 3-inch beam, and it displaces 22,500 pounds. The canoe stern provides exceptional control in following seas, while the cutter rig allows flexible sail combinations for any condition. Experienced owners describe balancing the helm with just one finger because the design heaves to so predictably. The list of solo circumnavigators who chose Valiant 40s tells you everything about this boat's capabilities. Mark Schrader covered 27,188 miles via 5 Great Capes in just 199 days back in 1983. Dan Byrne completed the inaugural race from 1982 to 1983, the BOC Challenge single-handed race, aboard one. Patrick Childress finished 2 solo circumnavigations and documented his voyages on YouTube before his death in 2021. Used prices range from $90,000 to $150,000 for well-maintained examples. Hulls numbered 120 through 249, built between 1976 and 1981, require careful survey since they used fire-retardant resin prone to osmotic blistering. That problem eventually led to a class action lawsuit. 5 proven boats, all under $150,000 used, and every single one capable of taking you around the world alone. What matters most is not the price tag, and Captain Fatty Goodlander proves that point better than anyone. He has lived aboard boats for over 63 years, and he is currently on his 4th circumnavigation. The boat he named Wildcard cost him just $3,000 as Hurricane Hugo salvage, and he circumnavigated twice on it. He put it this way: there is little correlation between dollars spent and pleasure received when it comes to cruising offshore. Sir Robin Knox Johnston became the first person to sail solo non-stop around the world in 1969, and his advice cuts straight to what matters. He said this: you need to be stubborn and very, very set on it. I was totally set on it. The boats exist, the routes are known, and modern technology like Starlink, reliable autopilots, and solar power has made solo sailing safer than ever before. The only question left is whether you will become one of the fewer than 300 people who have done it.